All right, just a couple of quick explanations of the robot and how it needs to operate on game day. Very important when you are loading the robot, you need to swivel the arm out in that direction. Swivel it 90 degrees, and that way you'll be able to get it onto the current without messing up the motor. If you swivel it out back 90 degrees that way, this motor right here is going to swing out and be in trouble and get bonked, and then we're completely jacked, as my boy said earlier. So that's point number one. When you are loading, you must swivel the arm out that way, just like the little note says right there, 90 degrees. The other very important thing to think about is where your string is in relation to the direction you have to go. The excess string has to be loaded up here on the downhill side, depending on which quadrant you're in. So if you are in one side and you find yourself with not much on the downhill side, you are in trouble. It will not work there. So if you have to think before your game time, based on what quadrant you're going to be, where you need to spin the string, and you can use the motor when it's not hooked up to anything to wind it back and forth, and then make sure you just pick up the slack by twisting it up here. Okay? The other thing you need to think about on the strings is they need to be in a very specific way. Okay? From the upper PVC pipes, the string has to come under the bottom. Okay, so around the top and under the bottom, and then it has to go over the top of the opposite side down low. So it's the same on both, and that's how it pulls in either direction. So you notice on this side over here, it goes under, goes around the back and under. It doesn't come over the top, it goes under. And in the bottom, it goes over the top. Make sure it's like that. If you get them the other way, you are in trouble, or you're completely jacked, as we said. Couple other things. Make sure you hook the excess cable underneath the turntable at some point tomorrow. We tried and tried to get it to work coming out this side, but it was just getting really tangled up right in here no matter what we tried. So we actually threaded it back through and found some longer cable, and it seems to work pretty good. When you put the arm fully extended, the up and down motion is not strong enough to pull it back up. So if you do ever need to pull it back up during gameplay, you'll have to pull it in as far as you can, almost to the box, and then pull it up. But you shouldn't have to do that too often. Get it out into your gyre and drag your stuff back in. It's not very fast, but it should work. That's about it. Have a lot of fun tomorrow. If anything goes wrong, you'll be able to compile. If all of a sudden the motors aren't going the direction they're supposed to, you can just switch the polarity on everything. So you could come down here and you could switch this over to that one, or vice versa, and that'll change the direction of the motors and how they work with your buttons or your joystick. Okay, Jody has all the instructions on how the buttons work. If you have any questions, actually, I'll just tell you right now. The joystick, this side is the drivetrain, left and right as you're looking at it. This side swivels the arm back and forth. This button up here, the 7 buttons, the up is arm up and the down is arm down. And up here, I think it was the 5 trigger. It might be the 6. I get confused. One of them extends the arm out, and one extends the arm back. Okay? Have fun, guys. If you got any questions, I'll be at the football game.